Chelsea star Sam Kerr cleared of racial harassment. 21 minutes ago from the BBC. Now, ladies and gents, it's very apt that we're discussing racial-based prejudice today in this video because a lot of you have complained and said that I don't spend enough money on production. You know, I don't have a script, I don't try very hard, so I invested in a green screen. I think it looks pretty good. You could almost believe I'm outside a London pub. And just out of interest, I thought while I'm playing around with it, I'd use cutting-edge AI technology. So I asked Grok AI to make me a nice background for my channel of the famous Thomas's Battersea Prep School. That's the primary school that Prince George attended. And I thought I could present the video outside of that. It'll really stir the blood of all the patriots, won't it? So here we are. Are you ready? Bam. There we go. Now, it has been renamed Faith Star Junior School Baby Class Nursery. But I think you'll agree, it seems to be stunningly accurate. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Today we'll be discussing the latest glaring, mind-melting example of disgraceful hypocrisy and two-tier justice in the nation formerly known as Great Britain. Presented to you live outside a ramshackle corrugated iron shed, which in 2050 will very closely resemble one of the top primary schools in the country, alright? Chelsea striker Sam Kerr has been found not guilty of causing racially aggravated harassment after calling a Metropolitan police officer stupid and white. A jury at Kingston Crown Court cleared her in relation to an incident in Twickenham, southwest London, on the 30th of January 2023. Miss Kerr said she was antagonised by officers after she was taken to a police station by a taxi driver following a dispute. Okay, so we all know what happened here. She's leathered, she's entitled, she doesn't think she has to pay the taxi driver because she's Sam Kerr, don't you know? And then, amusingly, she racially abused a police officer rather than just a random bloke in the street. And now the lefties are going to claim that definitely no two-tier justice system in the UK. I mean, yeah, I've shown you hundreds of examples in the last few months, all the way up to and including murderers slashing teenagers to death in Newcastle and then getting released after 6 months in prison, while Mr. Mellier and that nice old lady that sent a mean tweet were languishing in prison for several years. I'd also point out that this is abusing a copper. You can get arrested for calling a policeman a knobhead, right? We all know that. But if I said those three words and simply replaced one of them with the word black, and I said them to, I don't know, a random little chav on the streets of London because I'd just watched him defecate in an alley, I would get arrested and I would get charged and I would go to prison for it. You know it and I know it. But apparently, if you're Sam Kerr and you're an entitled female footballer and you spit race hate at a copper, you didn't do anything wrong. Definitely not guilty, makes loads of sense. The Australian international who made the comments to PC Stephen Lovell did not deny using the words stupid and white, but denied it amounted to a racial offence. Oh, really? The only way you can use the words stupid and then name a colour and not be committing a racial offence is if you're talking about an item of clothing, right? If I called a leprechaun stupid and green, I'd probably be talking about his jacket. Okay, if he was wearing white boots and she said stupid and white, she may be referring to his uniform choice. But if she isn't doing one of those things, then she has most definitely committed race hate. And if you were living in a country that made sense and had a legal system that hadn't been turned upside down by brain-dead activist lawyers several decades ago, this wouldn't even be a conversation. They've locked pensioners up who didn't fight with taxi drivers, who didn't refuse to pay the bills, who didn't spit hatred at police officers. They've locked pensioners who've never committed an offence in their entire lives, tax-paying citizens, never been a pain to the state or the authorities, locked them up for years for being mean on Twitter. But Sam Kerr can spit hatred at a police officer and nobody cares. After the verdict was returned, Miss Kerr gave a thumbs up to her legal team before leaving the courtroom with her fiancé, Christy Mewis. Oh, well, there you go. She's got bonus points. Female, minority and comfortable shoes. There's no way you get nicked in the UK for that. She could drop her drawers in front of 10 Downing Street, coil one out on the doorstep, kick Larry the cat over the fence, and then stick the loaf on the Prime Minister, and she still wouldn't get jailed. Miss Kerr and Miss Mewis had been out drinking, really. I never saw that coming. Were they drinking Perrier water? When they were driven to Twickenham police station by a taxi driver who said they'd refused to pay clean-up costs after one of them was sick, and then another smashed the vehicle's rear window. Unbelievable. Me and my mate got took to the police station in Manchester because we thought he was overcharging us and we had an argument with him. No, but nobody balked all over his upholstery and then put his window through. So even without the spitting race hate at a police officer, if you just smash the taxi driver's window, you're going to court, aren't you? Let alone blow chunks all over his seats and then spit hatred at a police officer. I mean, what is this menace to society doing wandering the streets? She wants to be sharing a cell with Hannibal Lecter. Strap her to a length of 4x2, put her in a straitjacket, bolt her lips shut. During the trial, Miss Kerr said she regretted the way she expressed herself. But added, I feel the message was still relevant. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Only in an unserious nation, a formerly great nation, now a cesspit like the UK, could you even with a straight face expect the national state-funded media to report barking your guts all over a taxi driver's seats, smashing his window, refusing to pay him, and then racially abusing a policeman as expressing yourself? It's laughable. Andy Warhol expressed himself. You just vandalised a taxi and then threw slurs at a copper. That's not expressing yourself. Was Charles Bronson expressing himself when he caved a guard's head in with a doorstop? I was trying to express that due to the power and privilege they had, they would never have to understand what we had gone through. I can't go on. I'm done. Power and privilege. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of that Amanda Lestenberg. Do you remember that lass who was in The Acolyte? My old pal Despot covered that ruthlessly with his fantastic reviews. She's a multi-millionaire whose dad is a multi-millionaire Hollywood executive who's never done a single day's work in her life, ever. And she's at the very top of the tree. Hollywood elite, millionaire, moisturised, skin like an angel, never done anything in her life. She's attractive, she's wealthy, she's ultra privileged. But when people don't like the awful, appalling, talentless crap that she stars in, she claims to be the victim. This is the world we're living in. The most privileged people in society, they don't just want all the money and the power and the property and the legal system kowtowing to them. They also want to tell unemployed labourers and scaffolders and Polish ditch diggers that they're the ones that are oppressing them. This is the world. This is how greedy they are. Can you imagine a professional footballer who gets paid thousands of pounds for basically not working for a living? Think of that. Brickies and taxi drivers and bus drivers, they play football on a Sunday for fun. These people get paid to do zero work. They've got the judges and the lawyers and the government enthralled to them. And then after they spew all over a hard-working taxi driver's property, vandalise his car, and then abuse a policeman, they go, oh, you know what the real problem is? I'm the oppressed one. Sam, you have got a head full of horse shit, love. I'm amazed at the brass neck on you. I can't believe... I thought it was bad enough that she'd been let off, but I couldn't believe those final two paragraphs. When she's going to claim that she's the oppressed one in this situation, you just have to laugh in her face. The whole thing's absolutely ludicrous, but at least it's hilarious, okay? So that's me for the day. Let me know what you think about Miss Kerr. Let me know if you think Britain definitely doesn't have a two-tier justice system. I'm sure you can't operate a keyboard because you're too stupid, but maybe have a care worker type a message in the comments for you, all right? Thanks for watching. Thanks to Fair Star Junior School for hosting me for the day, and I'll see you all tomorrow, all right? Toodle pip. Cheers.